Okay, we are red is on.
Okay, we'll open this meeting of July 28, 2016. Let the record show that Selectman Dawson is not present and Selectman Scanlon is on his way.
We missed you guys last week. Speak for yourself.
Did she say speak for yourself?
I missed that.
I said that.
I heard it.
What'd you say?
Be careful of what you say, because I can hear it over here.
You heard me say speak for yourself. I didn't hear that. Yes, we did. We felt a void.
Make a motion, we bring the minutes of 7/7/16 to the floor for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I had time to look them over at home, so.
Page 1, down bottom under Westwood.
Yes.
The last sentence, if you want, the,
Linear.
no, the culvert in question has been removed. The one by Mr. Chapman. I'm on the 7th, which one am I supposed to be on?
The seven.
So,
Paragraph. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so.
last sentence, after matter will be resolved, you can say that in the end, we pulled the culvert.
But that would be,
But is that, no, that's.
no, you
That's
can't do
since
that.
then, right?
This is the minutes of that
You did-
meeting.
Okay.
That COVID thing will go in this minute.
Okay.
So tonight, when you give a report, we can say that the, right, and that will go in that meeting.
Okay.
I'll go in here. Three hours of non-public.
Yeah. Well, one was, a lot of it was comp time, highway comp time, the seller,
I'm gonna have to read those minutes.
I remember correctly, we didn't make a decision on that until you came back.
Oh, that's the comp time?
We waited until you came back, so there was no decision at all on that.
Making an actual decision. I remember talking about it.
Right. This was July 7th. He came in at 1 o'clock to do
Yeah.
evaluations. That was the bulk of the non-public.
That was the Pines meeting.
And then the Pines came in at, Pines was public.
I wasn't feeling all that good.
Yeah. And Pines was public, and then we went in a little bit
Yep.
after that
I've
for
seen
non-public.
The evaluation.
Yeah. Any other questions, concerns, deletions, additions? Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Joe abstained. He was not
I
here.
wasn't here that day, so I abstained.
He brought a note from home.
Well, technically, I didn't.
Make a motion, bring the minutes of July 19th to the floor for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have the date wrong?
Tuesday the 19th, that is our emergency
Right.
meeting. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, that for just a few minutes, and you were on the
Next
phone.
week we'll have
Yep.
7:14. And hopefully 7:28. That was a 3.5-hour meeting.
I think it needs to be noted that Joe ran the meeting. How short it was, it doesn't matter, but it still should be noted.
Yeah, that's my one big claim to fame here, so.
Hello.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of Tuesday, July 19th as corrected, or amended, I should say.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next on our agenda is Sergeant Morrison and Captain Martin. I asked Nate and Ryan to come in. They did come to me after our meeting a couple of weeks ago, and it gave me additional information on OME and MHQ. I thought that it was invaluable information and important information that all of the board should hear. I know that Catherine is not here tonight, but there is the scheduling next week, because one of you are off next week, I think, right, with paid time off. So I asked if they could come in, explain it to us, and then at some time they would get together with Catherine and update her as well. So you have the floor, so go ahead and go.
Well, we're looking to retire the 6C, which is a 2006 Cruiser. It doesn't have working AC. It doesn't have a mobile communications radio, because we had one fail and we took it out of that one to put in another one. So it's a bare bones light bar and car. All it does is really go out and sit on details. So we're hoping to get this new car, and we normally we use Ospey Mountain Electronics, and we usually use the shop in Northfield because it's close. I've worked with the manager over there for probably 10 years with installations, because he used to work for Lily Pond Communications prior to, and he worked for himself as Belknap Communications as well. He does good work. He has an installer working for him whose name is Chuck. He does excellent work too, and I trust what they do. But Ospey Mountain, the company itself, also trusts what they do, and they're sending them consistently to Manchester to oversee a $2 million radio project, because the city of Manchester is redoing all their mobiles and portables across the city. So I don't think I'm going to get the same quality of work out of the replacement installers that the Molten Borough shop is sending down. We've had some issues in the past with the North shop, and I won't go into that, but MHQ came in, and with their bid, they're giving us the same expensive light bar that we've been getting, the quality light bar we currently use, the same siren controller, so there's familiarization with the equipment with the officers, and it's coming in at a lower rate. So it seems to me like maybe this time it'd be a good idea to go with a lower bid and not a higher bid with less quality.
Where's the lower bid?
Out of MHQ, it's a large installer in Massachusetts.
So what we save in cost, we're gonna make up in getting the vehicle there and back. If we've got to send 2 people down to drop a car off, come back, and then go back down to pick it up later, yeah, has that cost been figured in?
Well, that cost is gas, and
Well, it's 2 officers that aren't able to answer any calls here when they're going down and back, whereas we go to Northfield, 10 minutes and you're done.
well, going to Northfield 10 minutes doesn't mean we're going to be done, because I don't think we're going to get the same quality that we've been getting. And Sergeant Morrison and myself are getting paid if we're here or if we're on the road bringing it down to drop it off. And we're not responsible for calls per se. There's still be someone working to answer calls on the road. So I don't see it being cost prohibitive for us to take it down and get the service done, because we take it to either to Adamson's, to MHQ, to whoever we pick as an installer. Adamson's is another place in Massachusetts. I've requested a quote from them, but they decided not to send one back. MHQ, the cost savings is a little under $2,000, and that cost savings could get us a new laptop, which is something we're having problems with in the current cars. We continue to have problems with the air card connecting with the laptop, and I think it's a laptop issue. And Tim has spent several hours trying to correct it, and he'll be trying to work on it tomorrow as well. So we're looking to try to get a new laptop for the new car, and that's where that money would actually benefit the agency.
How much would the new laptop cost?
Well, on average, it's about $2,000, and that's for a semi-ruggedized to ruggedized laptop. But we don't have semi-ruggedized laptops currently in the cars, and I think that's part of the problem, because the operating range is narrower, whereas a semi-ruggedized could operate in a lower or a higher temperature range. The non-ruggedized ones don't work so well in the extreme cold or extreme heat. And I think part of the problem is the USB ports aren't up to snuff. I think they're wearing out prematurely on the non-ruggedized ones.
So let's go back to the amount in the last few years that we've gotten new cruises, and we've gone back to OME to upfit them, is that what you say, upfit them?
Yeah, installation.
How many times on average have we gone back because of issues or problems that, on installations or improper installations or whatever, have we had to go back and take care of the issues?
I think there's been 2 times for the 5, because I think the programming got lost or mixed up on the light bar. Either there was a hiccup in the voltage or something, but somehow it stopped dimming when it was supposed to, so we had to take it back, have it reprogrammed. And I don't know about the 4A, because the 4A was involved in that collision, so I don't remember if there was any warranty ones done on that.
I think one of the issues that I remember Tim telling us about was that they charge us for every screw and every bolt and every thing that they put into the vehicle even after, and that we have to go back several times for something to get corrected or refitted.
Normally after 30 days, if we have to go back for something, we're probably getting billed, unless I can...
So we own it after 30 days.
Unless I can sweet talk them into saying it's something so minor that maybe you should just help us out, because we keep bringing them business, but...
On average, how much of a time do we lose taking cars back and forth to have radio serviced in a year?
If you're fleet-wide, it's quite a bit. Fleet-wide, we've been taking, the older cars need more maintenance, such as like the 3A, the 3B. If we have to replace lights I can't replace a normal headlight in those cars like I can a Crown Vic. I have to take it to highway or a body shop to have the headlight replaced. And then if it's an emergency light, then I have to take it to the installer. And the light itself, if it's an LED, is usually under warranty for 5 years from the manufacturer, but you still have to pay the installer to take it off, give it to you to put in a box to send out, to get it warranted, to send back, and then reinstalled. So
What would be the difference in taking it, what would be the difference in doing that as opposed to going to MHQ? Do you feel that their professionalism is, we're not going to bring it back as many times, or we're still going to bring it back as many times?
I don't think we're going to bring it back as many times, and what they have done is, Sergeant Morrison and I went down and took a tour. It's a large facility. It's got, 16 installation bays?
At least.
At least 2-man teams, and that's their bay, and that's, one guy does soup to nuts, all the electronic light bar, siren. The other guy does all the hardware, the cage, the push bar, stuff like that. They also have their own paint booth. They have their own decal shop.
It's fully self-contained. and
Fully self-contained.
They have buying power where they're able to purchase in bulk as opposed to piecemeal like OME has to do.
Right.
So the savings are passed along in that vein, and I believe because of the size of what they're doing, and they're doing not just, regional departments, but they're doing departments up and down the East Coast. And so rather than have to send warranty bulbs out ourselves, where we become the middleman, they stock a lot of what they carry, and I believe would take care of the warrantying things themselves, where we would not have to.
And on top of that, they were able to capture our light bar program already, our ICS program. So they already know if they get to do this, they have it, they just upload. They don't even have to program it themselves because it's already captured.
And we went through the vehicle, what we have now, the 5A that OME did, and I was able to give feedback as to what I've seen as failures and what they did for installations, what I had to do for repairs myself at the PD. And they identified areas that they feel are going to give us problems in the future, and how they would rectify this by different mounting options, different hardware availabilities, different locations that they could actually put it that hadn't been explored by OME. And, you know, you get this experience by doing a mass amount of installations. They are very familiar with the vehicles, and so they've had the opportunity to do a lot of research and development that we're not having to pay for, that we get charged by OME a lot because they're not familiar with this stuff. It takes them 3-4 times longer to do an installation of new stuff because they're not familiar with it, and we're getting charged for all of that. Whereas this company here, they're doing so many, and they've been doing it for so long, and they've got these guys that are just dedicated to doing certain things. They're very proficient, and they've already worked out the bugs that you're seeing with a lot of the new upfits.
KO2, KO7. KO7.
Only thing that concerns me is that although I understand you get paid when you're here and when you're there, when you're here, you have duties and assignments, and you're available for the backup and questions and counseling sessions with officers if need be, or whatever. I mean, you have functions. It's not, that's my one concern. I feel like it's still gonna cost $700 a trip. Not just gas, because you would be doing, if you were here, you'd be doing something else. So, I mean, it does cost.
We are available all the time if there are problems that come up. It's no different than where I live. I have people stop by my house when I'm not on duty, technically. So
Marlboro and your house are, I mean, there's a distance issue.
but we're still available. It's not like we're not available. We are performing our functions as needed, you know.
But if something comes up where they have a question about, you know, hey, this product, we got a bad batch of them and they're failing, we don't want to put a failing light on it, what do you want to replace? These are your options. We can make that decision then and there. Instead of having someone else down there trying to call us to ask, hey, what should we do? You know, we can actually come up with a solution. So,
But apparently we save money too by taking it to people that know what they're doing.
right.
So the chances of repeat
Failure.
repairs.
The percentages are a lot lower than they are.
Yeah, and it's just, I've had issues in the past with some of the installers up north, and the guys I trust are not working on the cars all the time now. They're being sent elsewhere, and so I was just, if any year we were gonna look to, I've always fought to use OME because they've been so close, but this year I'm just concerned, I'm very concerned that we won't get the quality, we will have problems, and if we're gonna look at other vendors, maybe this is the year to try it. And if MHQ comes in lower and with better equipment, and they seem to know what they're doing, they got an assembly line style of installation, I don't see why it's not gonna be a short turnaround, and we're gonna have the car back fairly quickly.
Timing-wise, it might not be that much further to Marlboro than
North Country.
Right.
Moltenboro or where, Ossipee or wherever it is.
Depends on traffic.
Because of the speed limits and what have you.
And construction, and, yeah.
And the viewers.
Yep.
on this. But I can tell you from my standpoint, I do a lot of repairs on the vehicles at the station because of my background. I have re-engineered a lot of what I've had come down from Ossipee, not necessarily from these guys over here, but when we were doing the installations up there, I'd get a car back having problems. They've got, wires run where they shouldn't be. They become a fire hazard. And I am re-outfitting these cars myself because it's such a pain in the rear end to have to drive all the way back up there. This here, it's a straight shot. It's right off 495, right off the exit. I mean, we missed our
overshot.
turn. We got off the exit and we had to make an immediate right turn. We went down the road about a mile before we realized where we were supposed to be. So it was real quick. We were there in under an hour.
I'm not sure what, I think it is 24, is it 24? But it's like, you get off the exit, and it looks just like an alley right there, and that was actually the street we were supposed to take.
Yeah.
Just didn't,
It was real quick. I mean, it sounds like a long way, but it's all highway, and we were down there pretty quick. We hit traffic on the way back, but that was because it was right before 4th of July weekend, and so people were, getting off work. We went down on a Thursday, which you wouldn't expect a whole lot of traffic on, but people were taking off early for the long weekend. But I have friends in Rhode Island. I take that route all the time, and I usually clip right down through there. You know the times when it's going to be busiest and stuff like that. And that's one of the things that we have the ability to do is look at, when we need to bring this down, can we avoid a lot of that and cut the times down too?
Am I to understand that OME now has a semi-local option as opposed to wherever it is up north?
well, yes, what used to be Belknap Communications, who we used to go to, was bought out by OME, but they maintain it as their own shop in Northfield. And that's who we've been going to consistently for the last, couple of years. But
I didn't know they moved.
well, they still have the North Shop, which is Molten
Yeah.
Pro, and then they have the one in Northfield on 140. And then the two guys that were working out of that are now being sent to Manchester to do this huge radio project. So,
So they're bringing the help that we're not fans of
Right,
down
down.
here to sub for them while they're doing this contract in Manchester.
MHQ has no issues with not being the one to provide the vehicle, do they?
nope.
Since they're high by far.
Yeah, I told them there was no way we were going with that for
Okay.
the car.
No,
So,
There you go, either way. You could bring the vehicle down, or you could purchase one from them.
yes.
I would imagine the other states, New York, and they just pick up the phone and say, yes, we want one, then go down, pick it up, and it's already done.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah, they
They can
pre-spec
have-
them out, and they've got a big computer system. They take the orders, everything's there, and these bigger municipalities are just,
Give us 10. Give us 10 and outfit it like this. This is how they
Yeah.
operate sometimes.
And the sales guy that we had been talking to, they said, we program your position in for the upfit by your VIN number. So whenever you order your car, once they give you that VIN number, you give it to us, we put it in our system, your spot is saved. So you're not waiting for the car to come in. They've already reserved a spot for you. And so that could save a lot of time too when it comes time to, get the vehicle in and all that, instead of waiting 3 or 4 weeks. Oh, we can't get to you.
Well, that was an issue with OME.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they know that they have your spot reserved, they say, okay, we know in this time frame that car's coming in, we need to make sure our inventory has what they're looking for. Where if you go to OME, they're like, yeah, well, we're going to consolidate a few orders, and then we're going to place the order, and then it'll come in when...
Because they're trying
Brown.
to save money on shipping and things
Right.
like that. So they're looking to make a big order using everybody in the Lakes
So
region.
Yeah, they'll
not
wait
just
2 or 3
us.
weeks to do it, and then, we've had the car there for 2 or 3 weeks, and we're still waiting, and it's...
Well, it's definitely something to consider. However, I don't know if the chief has told you this, but a couple weeks ago when the subject was brought up, he was quickly reminded that we haven't made a decision yet to buy a vehicle this year. So we would definitely not make a decision tonight because Catherine's not here.
I'd like to talk with Tim about the $2,000 computer, because he's the IT guy, and, I'd like to know what the benefits are over the $800-900 computer. Is it that, I know we're replacing them because they're bad now, but...
Well, I can answer some of that, Joe.
Okay.
These ruggedized computers, and I'm going to pick Panasonic because I've been around and they're the ones that led the way in this stuff. But the Panasonic Toughbooks are the ones that you see the military using in the Humvees over in Iraq. They are built to withstand the pounding that a normal PC would not in a vehicle. And when you see the roads, especially in the wintertime around here, that we're hitting, I can tell you right now, these laptops will disintegrate. And that's what's happening is
Aren't the laptops that we have in those cars now designed to go in those cars?
no.
They're just random.
Do you remember back in Merrick's days, we had purchased a couple of the really rugged ones?
We have,
Fujitsus, that's what they were, and they were rugged to withstand bumps and...
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the internal dampening, they've got the shielding. The ports that are being used are actual automotive-type ports where they have positive locking systems, as opposed to these where you just...
So the wires don't come out?
Well, that's the thing, and what we're having the problem with is with these air cards, they're just plugging into the SD port and then they're just hanging there. And every bump we hit, it's going like this. And I can tell you right now, if I took this right now and I start doing this, within 15 minutes, this would be broken. And that's just what's happening with these laptops. So we have to think about, yeah, we're saving on the front side, by purchasing a regular laptop, but in the long run, we're not getting longevity out of them. They're wearing out prematurely. They're causing all kinds of issues with the guys when they're out on the street trying to do their job, when these computers aren't working. And then we're getting yelled at by dispatchers because we're running all these plates because we have a legitimate reason to, and we're overloading the dispatch center because of what we're doing. And it just all the way around, what you save in the front, a lot of times just gets depleted immediately within 4 months.
and then it ties up Tim for hours and days, so.
And they're not reliable. Tim comes up, he came up 2 weeks ago, and within 4 days, I had the corporals in complaining to me, they're not working again. So,
Four of them here the other day.
Just before he left for vacation, we were
Right,
trying to
yeah,
hustle it in.
right.
Fix this, please.
yeah.
And then within,
So we're retiring, look to retire the 2006.
Yeah,
Without the
6C.
AC and all that. So would one of the other cars slide into the detail position?
yeah, we think
Which one would do that?
It'd be the 3B. It's got the highest mileage.
of the 13.
So 3B would go to more
Down the
light
line
duty
a little bit
stuff
more.
for
Yeah,
detail or back
less
emergency or...
intensive duty, transportation, secondary, or directed patrol things where we had extra bodies where we could get out. And that's what we're using it for now. We've got extra bodies because Officer Patton is out of school right now, so we have an extra body out there, and they're using it to do spot road enforcement, where those officers assigned to that car, so 3B, they're not taking calls, they're actually out and they're doing motor vehicle enforcement actions, primarily
Speed trap?
Yep.
speed traps. They're in the
Speed
exit
traps.
20 areas. That's what their assignment is to go out and just to hit traffic to hopefully combat some of the complaints that we're getting, especially in the peak hours of the, reckless operations, people blowing stop signs and red lights, unsafe lane changing, the merge zone problems.
I see it all the time.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So that's what the 3B is doing, only it would be available for details if not being used for something else.
Today, on the way here, I'm going through the night at Shaw's, and I can see what turned out to be Officer Dawson making a stop up on the bridge. 2 cars in front of me, light turns yellow. I slow down to stop. Blatant red. And they both ran it. And there's Officer Dawson, but he's busy. And
Can't catch them all. We wish we
Well,
could.
I had a good one this morning. I went up and I go around every morning and I check to make sure there's no utility companies working well at detail. So I go out and I check the roads. I came down Clark Road and I get to the light there and I'm sitting there watching traffic. There's a lady coming up in a red Buick. I see that I'm watching the light, changes to yellow. I'm watching my light, goes to red, I get green. She's still getting on it. And she realized, because I just happened to take the 3A out, which doesn't have the light bar, it's fully marked, but no light bar. Apparently, she couldn't actually see until she got right up, and then she locked the brakes right up.
Did she make it?
No, she stopped. But I went by her doing this. So, yeah, it happens out there all the time, so, yeah. And we're hopefully gonna try to make a dent in it, but,
And we may have shut down a couple companies today.
yes. Yeah, Eversource was out working on Main Street. I don't know if you noticed all the traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I went down, this is their last warning. I told them, I said, next time we catch you, you're getting fined, so.
Speaking of Eversource, we still don't have Asplund up on 71 School Street.
We got a request for detail for Monday.
The 71.
Yes.
The trees are still hanging up?
Yeah.
Well, they took a couple of unsafe ones, but there's quite a few.
The cable line.
The one that was up
But
there
it's still-
dangling?
It's still stuck to the tree, so I'm
Stuck
not
to
gonna
the
touch
tree.
it, because
Yeah,
when it
it's
comes down,
dangerous.
it's going to Winter Street.
That tree's a mess.
And the tree is actually split in
Yeah.
the base of it's split all the way down the middle. So they said they were gonna get Asplund there that night, and they still haven't got it. So Monday?
Yes, Dave Chapman, he's requested a detail.
Take the whole thing, so when they're up there, can you make a trip up and tell them it's okay to take the whole thing down?
Because I talked to Josh about it and explained it to him, and I said, really, the whole tree needs to come down. I said, if it isn't this windstorm, it's gonna be the next one, you're gonna lose everything. And he said, no, we'll take it down.
Good. No, that's good. That's really unsafe.
She's got electric though, right?
Yes,
She's got
everything's all
electric,
backed up.
but phone or cable is still down. If you look off into the right, you can see the line.
Yes, no phone.
Maybe cable. It's one of the lower wires.
Probably do it. I don't believe she has, I should go look, because if it's cable, she doesn't use cable anyway. She reads.
If you go in the driveway, it's to the right and to the property this side.
Okay.
Proper line.
Well, one's flat now, and one's round, usually.
Is there any word when they're gonna pave Main Street?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got notice via email. I don't have it with me right now, but
I think paving was the 16th?
Cold plain.
They've created some issues though.
16 to 18.
Well, they told, at all their pre-con, they told sewer, you're all set, and then we get the email that now we're responsible for dropping and raising our structures. So we gotta drop them ahead of them and then pull them up after.
Originally, that wasn't sent to sewer. I sent it to sewer. I thought that she should know.
Right.
Like drop on the 8th, cold plain on the 13th, pave
Right.
16 to 18.
Right.
I notified the fire department too of that. I gave them a notice, so they know.
And the paving, cold plain and paving will be night work.
Yeah.
Well, some of it, they said all of it would be night work, with the exception of the covers, which that they would have to do during the day.
Bringing the structures up, yeah. But that's after the main paving. It's just you'll be out in the middle of the road.
Well, there's a little bit more than just the night
Right.
that's day paving.
It says paving at night.
But then most of it's day.
The cold planing is night work. Paving is night work. The lowering of structures are during the day.
Lowering and raising both.
Did they say anything about Winter Street yet? I can't remember.
Winter?
Was Winter Street in this?
No, school.
School Street, up
Up
to
to
Pillsbury.
Pillsbury.
School up to Pillsbury. They did?
No, I said I wish they were.
No, they, Bill Rollins said that they were doing some type of engineering, and that's in the mix, and they were working with, the VA, because the VA wanted to add gas to the mix when they wanted to expand that area. And so at that time, they wanted to do that,
All
but
at
they're
once.
very well aware that we can't do a thing to our sidewalks until they do something with the road, because it's undermining our sidewalk.
The vet's home wants gas brought up?
Well, the veterans home owns the gas.
Do they have it
They're
now?
doing it. I don't know if they,
Because getting there, you're going through a fair amount of ledge.
Yeah, they're not gonna get it up Winter Street, not by my place. They're gonna have to go up Deer Street like they did with the water line. Because it's all ledge right in there, yeah.
Gas
I
up
think they
there,
do have
but they
gas
need a
up
larger
there.
one.
But they wanted a larger,
Just larger
Yeah.
feet. So they're just gonna replace that one, okay.
and I believe that the gas, I think, doesn't it come up Clark?
And you're gonna have ledge on Clark,
And
too.
it comes down a ways. It may go down to Deer Street, I bet.
That's what they've done with a lot of the piping and stuff. They've run
Went
it
up Deer
up here
Street.
because you just hit all ledge right in that area around Bernard Chapman's and stuff.
Because water wanted to be included in a discussion when they wanted to do that road as well. Just a discussion, but, all right. Any other questions for Sergeant and Captain? Appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for listening to our
Thank you.
concerns.
Thank you.
Very much.
Did you get the results of the ruling?
Yes. The motion to suppress was denied on the Watson case. So, it was about Miranda.
Yeah.
They felt, the defense attorney, he was
Grasping.
Yeah, he's grasping at straws. I mean, trying to say like, yeah, Ryan Redding was right on the card.
Right.
And then he's saying 15 minutes later, we need to do it again. And the judge is like, no, it doesn't work that way.
He didn't understand, no,
He wanted,
once, right?
he wanted written confirmation that he read and, he was read and understood them. And
Well,
No, Brian did it. They both did a great
In my
job.
experience, they never asked me to sign anything. Right. Do you understand these rights as I've explained them to you? Hey, I could be a cop.
Right, right.
and unfortunately, that was just a little bit before we had the cameras.
Right, oh, yeah. So, I mean, that's gonna be another benefit of those.
Yeah.
You can go here.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Chief. Peter,
Yes.
you're up.
Okay. Refresh my memory, when we do the sidewalk here, we want to replace the tree we took out with something shorter, correct? But we want to get rid of the one next to the inn?
The one at the alley.
yeah.
The alley, okay. So I got that straight, so. No, alley,
You
yes.
say the one, replace it with one that's down in front of the cupcake shop, and Bob Hardy was gonna figure out what that was or
In
something?
front of the tattoo,
think we
in
picked
front of
one
the Hello Gorgeous place there.
That's that type of tree.
We took,
Something without little fruits that drop and go all over the sidewalk and into the stores. Because what we've got down there now, they have these little red cherry things. I don't think they're cherries, but
didn't we
maybe.
take out 2 spaces and we only, did we asphalt both spaces? Just one?
Front of Hello Gorgeous.
We only, we did,
You do
Yeah, I
too?
think they asphalted
I think the asphalt is all.
I can't recall.
two, except for these two right here.
so I guess maybe we're not replacing it down there.
You can still cut out some asphalt.
Tilton House Island, you been by?
Yeah,
What, okay, what do you want done now?
Oh, I haven't been down there lately. Or
The part by the parking has been removed, so we're down to...
the strip.
It's gone.
The strip is gone.
Where?
It's coned off right now. I don't believe there's enough granite to do it all in granite, so we'd have to pick some of that up if you want to go the tipped. Larry mentioned that someone had told him that there's an RSA that we need to have like an ADA walkway through it. I did a quick scan under the RSAs. I can't find
Why
it.
would we have to do that?
Well, you go 20 feet either up or down and you're around it.
We didn't have one before. It certainly wasn't
but-
ADA to climb over it.
I can either go on home. Are we going to put in some bushes or something? Because if we keep it too low, people will end up driving over it when we're
Put in
done.
curb stops.
Some type
Well,
of,
they'll drive over the,
Only once.
Well, what's located there?
There was an entire thing there. Oh, well,
Why can't we just go with what we had there? I mean,
Get
if
some,
we
like-
don't have enough granite, then let's go back with the same thing. I mean, how many years has that lasted?
One thing we can look at
Not go as high.
is the fence company in Andover, CSW or CWS. It's those three letters, I lost the order. They do sell the old guardrail post, you know, the posts that hold the steel guardrail? That's an option, talking with Arthur. They have some they put out front that are free, and then you can buy bundles of them. That may be something to look into, because I think those are going to be a pressure treat. So they should hold up. So they're going to be probably 6x8s or 6x10s.
So 8 high or 10 high?
Depending how you want to
How
stack
far you
them.
go in the ground with it? I wouldn't want
Well,
to go
we're
in.
gonna, I think, just lay them down, and how many layers are you looking for? We can then drill and pin.
Couldn't we just go and put some grass or something there and just put the curb stops like you do in
If you
regular
want to
parking
do
lots?
curb stops, we'll have to pick up some, which we could do. I believe the ones we have at Highway that came out of the PD will be going to Lot B. I counted there's 10 spots near the tracks, and then there's grass. Talking with Brian Lombard,
Went down
I'm meeting him on Tuesday.
way?
We're going to put the 10 that we've got there. Our plan is we're not going to pin them. We're going to basically paint a line on the backside so we know where to align them. Wintertime, we're going to pull them so that snow removal is a little easier, and then put them back out each spring. So that's what we're going to do with that.
and if you had grass, you could put flowers.
If you want,
Or mulch or, you know,
so I
something so
got
that if we pile
I haven't,
snow
I've
there-
just seen it going by at 20 or so, and so I haven't seen if it's, what the bottom material is, if it's concrete or...
It looks like dirt.
Dirt, just dirt.
I didn't get out.
It just looks like
off my
dirt,
bike.
really,
It looks
but-
like dirt.
Okay.
I don't
Everything's
think we're
gone
going to
and
make
it's
a
dirt.
decision on this tonight, because
Right.
Catherine was really involved in the decision
That's
last.
fine. So we'll keep that one on hold.
But I like
Keep
the
it
options.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
that's
that was
fine.
what it was.
What are
Keep
you
it
gonna
The
do
nice
with
thing
the,
is we now have a place to put some snow, too. We can pile,
There's a
you know, when
tree
they
island
plow,
up
they
at the
can,
end
whether
of
it be
that.
temporary or whatever, they
The
can.
stuff is all falling out.
Those, I think we're gonna check, and whatever timbers we need to replace, we're gonna have to
Just
get.
put in new timbers.
in the front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tree island.
So looking, checking those, we may want to check with the fence folks, see if those the guardrail posts would work, because they may be a cheaper alternative. Ridge and Westwood should be ready for R&D whenever. Talking with them the other day, they're looking over the sidewalk bid. They're probably not going to be coming in until September at some point. I told John Chase from the water company I'd like Birch completed by the end of August with the water. One thing I would like to request of the water company would be that they put some form of trench patch back in when they're done, so that there's some asphalt material. Because if you reclaim gravel, it does you nothing. You've just mixed it up. If you reclaim gravel and asphalt, you get the benefit of the cementing qualities from the asphalt. So,
And they were okay with that.
I would just want to get an agreement from you
Yeah,
before
I would say
And I
yes.
would just, we'll send them notice and let them know. The
When did you want them to complete their birch?
Birch, end of August.
End of August.
Yes. And he's got Kenny Partridge doing that. Arthur's looking to replace the big chainsaw, which is older than he's been with the town. So he's getting some prices. They're going to be around, it's going to be right around the $500 mark. He had checked with MB. They're a little high, I think. He's going to, there was a place in Loudon where they bought the last one.
C&M or something. Yeah, you had a price of 407, that's a really good price for
Okay.
that saw.
Yeah. I saw that.
The 311?
It's a
That's
steel commercial.
C&D.
Oh,
CSD.
it's 20% discount, so we go from 510 to 408.
That's a really good price for that
Let's
saw.
see.
I think that's what we got before.
Tell them to order
So
it.
it's the steel MS 271, 18-inch bar.
What's wrong with the other?
That's the old one, isn't it?
Yeah. He's replacing with the,
Sales date, oh, that was an estimate last fall or something, 10/16/15.
Hold on, I've got it right here, I sent it to.
Okay.
isn't it MS 311 that you're replacing with?
Here, chainsaw, yeah. Here are the quotations from Arthur. CSD is $407.95 with the municipal discount. That's where we purchased the last chainsaw.
Did he give you the model number, Joyce?
No, he just
Okay.
said the MS 311.
That's the model number.
Model number.
Okay.
And then the other quote he had was from M&B for $509.95.
But with
He
this
did
one,
not get a third quote.
but he's under 500.
That 407 price?
Yeah.
I did a whole bunch of research. I couldn't find anything under like 500.
Sure.
That's a really,
So what's wrong with the other chainsaw?
It's 16, 18 years old, so it's just old and tired.
Most 18-year-olds I know are old. What's wrong with the chainsaw? Is there something wrong with the chainsaw?
Peter, is that the only saw we have?
They have two, I believe.
Yeah,
It's the older,
Small one.
it's,
they're replacing the larger saw, and it just
Oh, the
isn't
big
that
one.
reliable.
Oh, so it's non-functioning part of the time?
Right.
It's good
whenever
for-
we need it.
Yeah, well, there you go. He fixes it and it breaks. He fixes it and it breaks.
What Arthur is asking if the board would approve signing that purchase order so that he can go get that one.
Yes.
Did you sign it?
I say yes,
No,
yes.
give it to the
Yes.
chair, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't look at the finances for that, but I don't
Is this the
recall us
purchase
spending a
order
lot of
right
money
here?
on.
That's the PO,
Right here.
Yep.
the top one.
I believe we're running really good on the
We
budget
should,
down
we
there.
should be, because we haven't,
We've been running very lean.
Yeah,
I haven't been
Arthur-
spending much.
Now, Arthur had asked about whether to wait for a
Huh?
printout.
I know.
Okay.
That, I think, is it until later in the meeting.
Okay. All right.
I just need signatures.
Okay.
I'm doing a warrant for 3 other dogs, civil forfeiture. They haven't complied with orders. I'm gonna keep on top of them like.
Joyce, have we sent R&D the contract for the roads?
No, it's in here to be signed.
Okay.
He said he would accept just signing
One for the dogs?
Yep, another one. We can do them all year long.
Yesterday.
We get rabies or a
Tuesday, I guess.
person gets a new dog, we get a notice from the vet.
They go out and arrest the dogs.
Yeah,
Look them down.
we got 4 sets of handcuffs. 2 sets.
Only down here.
On the other list, yeah. This is another 3. They've all had, the other 3 that are on the first list have been told that court's the next step.
Operating a dog without a license.
Yes. Shame, shame, shame.
Rating a dog without a license.
How much is a license?
How much?
Yeah,
$7.50 or 10?
$7.50.
Or 10.
Now
Or
it's,
10.
now you get a fine, $25, is it?
This is what the civil forfeiture, $32.
32.
And what's the difference, 750 or 10?
That's if neutered or not.
Oh.
Intact or...
So if they're intact, there's
They're more.
$10?
They're more, yes.
Hey, you know, we lose money on this stuff. The state,
Well, we need to register cats. Equal opportunity for all
I'll
animals.
run your ass out of town.
Bunnies.
Unruly goldfish,
You're welcome.
betas.
All right, Joyce?
Did you want to talk about your curb stops?
What about them?
I don't know, that was on
He
the
was gonna
agenda.
get with
I'm meeting,
Brian Lombard
Tuesday I'm meeting Brian.
to go over, he's already got the curb stops at the highway garage.
Yeah. For those, and then we just have to order some for Tilton House.
I see the to be signed folder. And the yellow part was part of it. Okay. So you need to sign it. Okay. Just wanted to see. Yes, this was, you haven't seen this. Oh, you signed this. This is what we were using for the, an award letter for R&D for doing the roads. And then attached is his signed bid. So is that, okay, you haven't seen any of these yet, John?
I don't
Okay.
believe so. No, I haven't.
And
Get it to your pile.
Yep.
yeah, he's there for the... These are you to sign, John. Okay. Lauren had asked, is the hearing on, I'll give you all the background on this. As you know, we still have a 2013 and 2014 tax abatement before the Board of Tax and Land Appeal for Riverfront Place. This has been ongoing because the tax rep for Riverfront Place has requested a number of hearing extensions, which they've been granted. So we're getting ready to go to the hearing, and what Lauren is asking is, in the past, Barry Cunningham, he did a multi-year appraisal for the property. And as you know, we succeeded. That was in the Superior Court. But now we're with Board of Tax and Land Appeal on subsequent years. She says, as such, I'm not inclined to ask him to do another appraisal. However, I would like to use him as an expert to go over the opposing appraisal at the BTLA hearing. This would be much more affordable for the town, I believe, just as effective. So Lauren is asking for the board's approval to have Barry assist at that BTLA hearing. He charges $200 an hour for however long that hearing is. And she would like to know as soon as possible so that she can have him start reviewing their appraisal.
And for here,
I don't have the date for that yet. I don't have the date for that yet. They had filed motions for rehearings and motions to delay rulings. Let's see. I went back, oh yeah, here it is. I went back and looked at all of the invoices and what cases we had paid Valuation Research Council for. So the last, let's see, what did we pay the last time on that? TLA. There's a lot. Quite a bit. The first 4 lines. So this would now be, because they've appealed every year since 2009.
Some businesses do that. Standard practice.
So I think that it's well worth it because we succeeded in the prior appeals. Is that okay with you? It's okay with me? How about you?
Yes,
Okay?
definitely.
Yep.
Definite.
And we're not anticipating a bill this large, though.
No, just I figured that, I wondered, for my own peace of mind, I just want to know how much have we paid for experts going back to 2009? Our sidewalk RFP is due next Thursday at 4 o'clock. Have we received anything yet, Gail?
Peter says we won't until the deadline.
Okay. Has anybody contacted you? Because I said for them to contact you.
I've met R&D paving.
Okay. And how many did we send out? I have like at least 5.
Oh, gosh. Anyhow,
Okay.
probably 9 or 10.
Okay. In your folders, starting next week, I think it's the next 3 Thursdays, you'll be having interviews for legal counsel. So we printed copies so that you'll have those in time for your meeting.
You got those now. I've got it.
Pat, did you want to read this into the record? This is what the paving schedule is going to be. And do you want me to shorten that up and do an alert Tilton as we get closer?
You showed it to me already.
You have to read it on the tape.
Absolutely. Pike Industries is writing to inform you of our intent to commence work on US Route 3 from Railroad Crossing at Cumberland Farms to Park Street. Also, School Street from Route 3 to Pillsbury Lane. Exactly. Our proposed start date will be during the week of August 8th, 2016, to start lowering all structures during the day. Cold planing will start on August 14th and 15th. That'll be night work. Paving will be on August 16th. That will also be night work. Adjusting structures and doing tip downs on sidewalks on August 18th through the 24th during the day. Please forward this information to all town departments, and please notify any departments in town that need to lower their structures 1 foot before we start milling.
What?
That's what it says.
I notified
Lower
water,
their
sewer,
structures 1 foot.
gas, fire, police, highway,
DES?
DES.
Yeah. Winnipesaukee River Basin Program?
That's sewer, isn't it?
That's the Franklin Treatment Plant. They've got possibly 3 manholes out here.
Good heads up.
Good heads up.
Johanna may have told them, but I'm not sure, so you can check with her.
Okay. Now, they had said all along that they were going to keep 1 lane open.
They do.
Okay. Do you want me to notify any businesses or anything that this is going to be started?
If they don't, they have to keep 1 lane open. I mean, we can't possibly send them all through Academy down school. I mean, if it's up there, you have to keep 1 lane open. What happens if there's an emergency? Right, Chief? You have to keep 1 lane open all the time during the day, because if you're up at Cumbies redoing, I mean, down here, we can reroute them through Academy and down school, but, right.
I also notified Northfield as a courtesy.
I would tell everybody.
Did we post that, make some flyers, put them around downtown somewhere, ask some of the stores to put them in their window, or? That would
I'd
be
let
good.
the surrounding towns know.
Surrounding towns, and definitely all the businesses and residents, night paving for 3 and cold planing for 3 nights is going to be a disruption to these people.
And just start at Cumberland Farms and just give them to the businesses.
Take it out of me, Vern.
I thought they were going to work with Cumbies too on the date for, with the parking law. How is it?
I spoke to them a few times, and it doesn't seem like Cumbies really
It's doing it.
is
Okay.
going to do anything. They just went and restriped all their parking lot and everything, so.
Oh, well,
okay.
that makes it, that's a...
The only other thing is to talk to them, their pad, where their gas is, a lot of that's cracked, which undermines its ability to hold gasoline if it spills.
That's in violation of
So
DES rules.
we might want to go that route, tell them, look, you guys need to clean up your parking lot, your pad's cracked, it's not holding that,
Well, they have inspections, and they'll catch it in the inspection.
Well, the inspectors check that
Oh,
too?
they certainly do. They certainly do. And I know they'll be up in this neighborhood in August.
All right.
Be nice.
This is the
Can't
Pike
make 'em.
Industries invoice, so if you want to go ahead and approve that, and then, I don't know if Tim, oh, and here's all the backup information on it. The original estimate was a little over 51,000 was our share. So I'll let Tim know, and then he'll probably have you do a motion to let him withdraw money from the trust fund.
It's the March Road?
Is this including the section in front of the farm?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I want to see a supplemental bill.
Yes, Peter had reviewed it. I had Peter
Where do we sign this?
just initial on it. Make a note in the minutes that they approved the, just make a note in the minutes that they authorized payment of the, I'll give you a copy of the invoice. So
What?
this is our portion of the March Road,
Okay.
March Road paving project.
It's a really nice road now.
Yep.
You can go like 70, 80 down there, and you wouldn't even know it.
Speaking from experience.
Preach it to the choir, John. I like to break in a new road.
Hands-free.
You've noticed that the painters have been working all this week. It's been very, very hot. I haven't received any complaints from anybody. We were a little bit concerned there for a while when they had their lift right on the corner because it was impacting traffic, but they really weren't there for that long. So that was the only really issue that
Did
came
they
up.
have somebody directing the traffic?
No, not at that time. It was just to get this one corner. Because you know how people come flying around there.
I have to slow down.
Did they wash the windows after they painted them up there?
Well, they got the thing up there.
They didn't?
No.
The other thing they pointed out, well, because we were supposed to have our cleaners, they were supposed to wash the windows inside and out, remember? We read our cleaning contract,
Wait a minute, I have not seen that outside of these windows
almost 10 years.
since I've been a selectman.
No, they were done last year.
Outside?
Yeah, because they put the film on.
Downstairs.
No, downstairs.
Derry.
I'm talking
Upstairs.
upstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Well, it's been a long time.
Requires a lift and
Why, I'm just saying, why didn't we think to put it in the spec when they were painting them after they painted and wash them?
two birds with one rock. The hell, it don't cost $1,000.
The one thing they did point out, and I told them just to sand and put their putty when they prep, all the sills in the front there, especially on this side, are, you just like pull some of the wood back. So I said, just do the best you can to prep it.
Were those sills older than the windows? Or did they go in when those windows went in?
It was before my time. I mean, otherwise we'd have to be replacing sill. I said, no, just do the best you can to prep. And also, they want to know about the floor of the balcony, if they were to paint and do that. And I said, no, just the rails. Just paint the rails, don't worry about the floor.
Are our guys able to cement the brick in the window, in the window sills coming up the ramp? There's a couple of bricks.
So do some mortar work?
There's 2 or 3 bricks that have come out. I would think that we would want to do that before we put the grates back on them.
Did they replace that one window that's been broken for 2 years? No.
Maybe they could, I don't know if that's been painted yet.
I'm hoping that it's one of the windows we can replace the glass in it and not something that we have to replace the whole window with.
We have them look at the window there to see if we could just replace
Put
the
out doors,
doors.
have them come over and look at both the mortar bricks issue and the window.
That would be nice, at the same time, clean each one out before they put the grate back in, and then and then clean the bricks and tidy it up. That would really look nice.
I didn't know if you wanted to, be starting on Monday. We don't have any non-public scheduled, do we? Oh, we do?
We have one tonight for non-personnel.
Oh, okay, all right, I'll put my comments in there. The Public Works Director position, so far, we've received 3 resumes. I've talked to 2 individuals on the phone. They may be submitting.
Mike?
Yeah. And next Thursday's the deadline.
Unless we extend it.
Unless we extend it, right? I also spoke with the local public works directors that have been doing searches to see if they had any. I sent you an email.
The other alternative is to go out to
A
a professional one to find us somebody that's very professional. That's the other option.
Yes.
A headhunter?
Depends on the heads we get.
Sure, well, actually, the 2 people that I spoke to, why they're thinking about us because they would have to move. They would move. I mean, they're in the state, but they would move.
Yeah, you don't want an hour commute if you're coming in for a snowstorm.
The zoning board is meeting tonight downstairs to decide if they're going to have a grant a motion for rehearing. And the law firm that they hired is the Mitchell Group. That's as much as I know. And we have our meeting at 6:30. Oh, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
That's that one, right?
Yeah, and we may want to talk about this before.
Yeah, so whenever we're ready, we can go into non-public, and we'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about the personnel issue that we have.
Let me just double check my list here. I kept it light this week, Pat.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, anything else I have that would be personnel related.
See if the department likes to check in.
Do you guys have anything for me?
I don't, does anybody else have anything?
Oh, for Joyce?
Well, do you have
Well,
anything? in
yes. Yes, kinda. Goes in with the one thing that I've got here.
Gas card?
As of today, we have 6 inches of gasoline and 6.5 inches of diesel in our underground storage tank. Both of those amounts put them down too low to be pumped. The tank is out of fuel. So I'm hoping like mad. Now I know some of these answers kind of sorta, but that our card system is up and running for the police department and for Public Works. Okay, because my next move is going to be to authorize removal of the tank, like right now, because I'm the chairman of the committee. Okay, that was my whole thing, and that's my report.
And Gail gets credit for all that.
She's a goddess, I tell you.
All right, so I'm going to make a motion to go into non-public for RSA 91A:3, personnel, and also that which discussed in public would adversely affect the reputation.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
47. Yes. And camera's red is on. Time being 7:25. I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session. This might tend to damage the reputation of a person permanently, and as it pertains to personnel, permanently as well.
Second, roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any more business to come before us in a public meeting?
Just this one thing. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Your feet, what did you say?
Vote with your feet.
I watched that speech last night.
And I'll let you know when they're gonna take out the tank and give you updates on how that goes, because we're gonna own money.
I was in between.
Did you shut the camera off?
Pardon me?
Did you shut the camera off?
Not yet, I forgot that.
All right, just.